Welcome to this week's session with the Putnam County District Library. This week, we are going to take a look at Gimp. And Gimp is, again, another software that you can download off of the web. It is free. And what this does is it's a software program that you can complete such tasks as photo retouching. You can do image composition. You can change your image authoring. It runs on Windows or Mac, and in doing this, you have a lot of painting tool options, such as the brush, the pencil, airbrush, clone, and many more. In addition, you can set and you work with many different file formats. So you can use with bitmap, GIFs, GIFs, TIFFs, and even PDFs. So I'm just going to open up that program here today, take a look. The first thing I do want to do is I'm going to take you to, if you notice, you can go here online. I just took a screenshot image here of Gimp. If you simply go to the website and do a Google search for Gimp, or simply type in Gimp, and the address is just the www.gimp.org. And from that location, you have the ability then to download. It's going to be able to tell which type of, whether it be a Mac or Windows device you're using, and then it will allow that. I do want to alert you, not through the App Store itself if you're doing anything, or through the Google Play Store. This is a download strictly from the gimp.org website. So I'm going to now pull across my Gimp actual program here. And when I do that, what you're going to see is a very similar screen that you would see with most programs when you're using with photo editing, image editing. So I'm going to show three basic things that you can do today. One is simply changing the size of an image. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to New, and when I go, or I'm going to go to Create and Open. These three are the main ones that I'm going to use today. So I'm going to go to Open because I have in my downloads here, I have some files, excuse me, that I have opened up and downloaded. So I'm going to go here, and the first one that I'm going to add is I want this trail image here. Notice, I want you to notice out here to the side, it is a larger image. And I'm doing this on purpose because I want you to see what happens when I bring in a large image. So I'm going to bring this image in. And the first thing to make note of is to look at and to see what the size of this image might be. So across the top here is where you'll see this image size. And notice it is a large image. And I've done that on purpose because I want you to then know how to change that. So if we simply go up here to the top to up here where the image is at, we can go to Scale Image. And if I go to Scale Image, what it's going to do is going to pop up the screen that basically it's showing me. Notice it's the same size here that's showing in my information across the top. Again, a large image. So I'm going to change this down, and I'm going to change this to, let's just say 500. Now, when I click, you'll notice what happens is this automatically changes. That's because it's locked. If you do not have that, and if you want to unlock it, you can by simply clicking on it. You'll notice the lock breaks open. But for the most part, if you have an image and you do not have this lock, it can distort that image. So I'm simply going to say Scale, And now you'll notice there goes my image, and my image has become much smaller. It's much smaller in size, and would be much more likely to be able to use if I wanted to take that image and put it into something else. Because again, that large image is going to make my file size very big for whatever I might be doing with it. So that is how you're going to change your size of an image. Another thing is to crop an image. So to crop an image, we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Open because I want to get a different image this time. And again, I am going to this time go to this image here that I have of a palm tree, and I'm going to open that up. With this image, what you'll see when I open this image is you'll notice I have the image itself, and I have a lot of sky area up here to the top. So I'm just simply going to take some of that out so I don't have that all in my image. So to do that, I'm going to go to, again, I'm going to go to Tools. This time I'm going to go to Transform Tools, and I'm going to simply go to Crop. When I go to Crop, I'm going to click with my mouse and draw what I want to have in my image. So let's just say I want to have this part in my image here. Maybe I don't even want all of that on the side. And when I click, now I have this image without all of this area that will be a part of the image itself. The other thing that I can do, I'm going to go back here one more time. I'll show you one more time. I went to Tools, I went to Transform Tools, and I went to Crop. This time I'm going to crop out. I don't want to crop out that extra little palm tree. I just want the palm tree itself. And when I hit my return key or my enter key, whichever that might be on my machine, then I just get that part of the image. The other part I wanted you to see here is if I go again to Image and I go to Transform, notice now I have the ability to rotate. So I can flip it vertical, which would be kind of silly to do, obviously, but I can again go back here to Image, go to Transform. I can flip it horizontal. I can flip it all the different ways that I might want to have an image up here. So I went to Image, I went up to Image, I went to Transform, and I went to Rotate. And if I again do this counterclockwise, notice I can flip this image however I might want that to be. And then the last thing that I want to show you that's kind of a basic tip is how to do something with a logo. So again, I am going to go, but this time instead of going to Open, because I'm not using any file that I already have, I'm going to go to New. When I go to New, I am going to have that same sizing option come up that I did before. I'm going to pick, I'm going to make this my width and then my height. So I'm going to make my width 600, and I'm going to make my height 300. Notice I'm working in pixels. I can change it to inches. I can change this to however I might want size-wise. I'm going to continue to use in pixels. I'm going to say OK. Now I have a box that has come up, and I want to, first of all, my background, you'll notice right here is my background color. I can change that background color. So if I want to click here and on my colors, I can make these change to something different. I'm going to go up here to my bucket fill. This is the tool that I'm going to be using. And when I go here to my colors, notice I have these other colors. I'm going to take this so that I now can go to my bucket. I highlighted, I wanted these colors here, and now I've got a black background. So now I have this black background that I can work in. I could change it to like a pattern type fill. I could change it to whatever fill I would want for my background color. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my text tool. And again, look here along the side. This is where my colors are at. This is where I justify where and how I want my text information to be. So say I want it centered, and then I'm going to change my color because obviously right now it is going to be typing black. I'm not going to see black on black very well. So I can click here, I'm going to select white and say okay. So now I have that white color over black, and I'm going to highlight here what I want in terms of my information. This is the size and the type of font I'm going to have. Again, I can change this and maybe shrink this down in size if I want. And then I can type in here. And then what I type in here is what you are going to see, obviously, that comes across. And I want to make note here because I'm going to type in, and I'm going to type in Gimp .org/ and I'm going to type in tutorials. So I have gimp.com/tutorials. The reason I did that is because today we went through 3 basics. We went how to change the size, how to crop an image, and how to create a logo. Those are 3 of the beginning basics that you can find if you go to gimp.org/tutorials, and it can go through and it will show you this information that I've shown today, as well as many more basic ways to go about using Gimp. It'll explain more when it comes to all of these tools that are available and how to work with everything that you see. The one other note that I want to make today before we end this session is notice I am working in layers. So right now I am working in the top layer. Here is my text. Then there is the layer before that I had worked with, which was background. So if I were to change back to background, this is where I would go, and I could actually change the background color that I was working with. So I would have to be in whichever layer I want to work with as I try to make changes. So that is, like I said, 3 of the basic ways to get started with Gimp. And if you go to gimp.org/tutorials, after you download the program, you'll find many, many more options available for how to use the program. I hope everyone has a fantastic week.